Hello, how's everybody today? Hopefully everyone's doing good. I've had a crazy morning, St. Patrick's Day. And I started it off with a good little hit workout with with my hit crew, and then was lucky enough to be able to take everyone to school and work, and then come home, grab my gear, go in for a second workout, and went to a couple of meetings around town, and then I just finished grocery shopping. Oh, so anyway, our weekend was pretty fun, pretty crazy, pretty wild. We had one busy Saturday. We had Evelyn had her community band concert, and it was fantastic. They do a couple of these a year with the community band, and then we're lucky enough to get to go and see her also partake at the school and do band there as well. And that just is awesome. Awesome. Beginning of the school year, they do marching season, and it's amazing. But it's hard work, hard work. Evelyn's favorite time of the year is that part of the year. But she starts school essentially a couple weeks early, just like the football team, and we drop her off for an all-day affair at the school. And they stay there and drill and learn and march and practice and drill some more. And we pick her up basically for supper. And she's just a full-fledged student essentially for the first bit of school. And then once school's kicked off and in, I think it's twice a week. Like we pick her up at like 9 p.m. after practice is done after school, and then once or twice a week they go to school early to get some practice in. It's wild, but they get to chase the football team around, and I don't know if anybody's ever seen the movie Drumline. That's the one that always comes to mind like instantly. They literally we get to become football fans of high school football because she's taken the field in the halftime show and doing her thing, and it's just amazing and awesome. Cash and the Young Guns, they had a hard fought battle on Saturday. They came up a little bit short on Saturday, and then just like baseball, they won their first game Sunday morning in a walk-off, beautiful fashion. One dude, Cruz, crushed one, blew it past the outfield, and we had a runner on base, and he got to trot in, touch home base, and we were the home team. That was the final inning. That was our win. But just like baseball or sports in general, we went on to the next game, and exact same thing. Umpires said, "Hey, this is time, so this is the last inning unless it stays as a tie game." And literally Kylie looked at me and said, "So if they can stop them here," and no sooner did those words come out of her mouth, and that team pumped one up the third baseline, and they were able to sneak the guy in from second base to home, and that was the end of that game. It's been wild. Old Cash. We talked the other day about him and I, and Kylie helped, about him, not focusing on the negatives, but trying to find the positives in the game. But he just wore his absolute heart on his sleeve, like he lost the game, because he's in a bit of a slump on the stick in the batter's box. But defensively, he's been standing out as far as that goes. He's been flashing leather, and whether he's playing shortstop or playing center field, a little bit of second base and back catcher, he's been doing his job, so to speak. And so we tried pretty hard to get him to focus on that, and but still to no avail. He was pretty bummed out on Sunday. I'm in a slump, and I don't know what to do. And I said to him this morning, I talked with Kylie a little bit last night first, I guess. Just coming from a Taekwondo background and she said, I can try and give him some pointers, but the unfortunate truth about Taekwondo is that one's is a solo sport. So if there's anyone to blame, it has to all be put on me. And I said, yeah, that makes sense. That always makes sense to me. But if there's anything that we can do to try and talk to him about it and see if there's any way to mitigate some of those feelings of just, the shitty feeling of, if I would have got on base, if I wouldn't have struck out, if I wouldn't have grounded out, maybe things would have been different. Not wrong, but team sport's team sport. We got to rely on one another. And if you have a terrible at bat, you got to make it up defensively. One thing that coaches all said was, like, it's just the little things, the confidence, like in the batting box, knowing that you can, keeping your eye on the ball the whole time, keeping your chin down the whole time and making solid contact instead of getting under it for a pop fly or getting on top of it for a grounder. Small little things, but they were like, they fought. And the one thing that Bobby said that was just super awesome and inspiring to me was, he said, as long as I've been a part of this team, which is not a whole lot less than Cash and our family, is that when we started, we were unfortunately known as that team that could kind of get, for lack of a better, kind of walked all over, and they would use us as a stepping stone and all those little things that would drive us nuts. We'd catch a win here or there. We did catch a couple lucky, good tournaments. Everybody played their hearts out, and we won a few along the way. But for the most part, when we first started, they were a pushover team, so to speak, and not anymore. When the young guns come to play in a tournament, people say, like, holy man, those guys are here to flip and play some baseball. So just in a couple of short years of them, like he said in that episode or two ago, knowing how far he's come in the short periods of time that he's been playing is something that we need to learn how to focus on. But it's been tough because I get it, feeling like you're letting your team down, feeling like you're letting your family down, feeling like you're just in a slump, in a pickle, all these things. It's hard to keep that out of here and keep your head clear and rally onto the next day and onto the next decision and onto the next choice. So, I asked Cash to write down some things that he wants to fix or work on, some goals that he wants to set for himself. And we're going to focus and work on those starting tonight after school. And he actually did exactly that. He got home on Saturday and he wrote out his list, and he has it on his desk right beside his bed. I went in there with him this morning and he showed me it, and it's fantastic. So we talked on the way to school, like, what do we got to do next? The short and easy answer is, like, I got to practice more. And I said, that's absolutely correct. But what's practice? And he said, well, I practice with my team. And I said, yes, and that is practice, but that's practicing with the team. Practice is also the stuff that we do when no one's watching. The stuff that we do when practice is over, when the games are over, when you come to that crossroads decision after school, and your Xbox and your friends are sitting there, and your friends are texting you and saying, hey, let's jump on and play some Call of Duty or Fortnite or whatever the game is. Play some MLB The Show. Do you do that, or do you take half an hour or 40 minutes and do you go, work on your core, work on your legs, work on your sprint work? Do you go back to last summer when I was saying to him, when you decided you wanted to try and run a half marathon? Do you set your alarm and know that if you go to bed early enough and you wake up early with Dad and you get a workout in before school, And then you come home and have your breakfast and get your lunch set up. Do you know that you can make it all the way through school without falling asleep? And do you get that work in the mornings, knowing that yes, you might have a ball practice after school, but you've also put in some extra? We had a pretty okay talk. He was still a little bit sour this morning. We had to, talk through that because it's just part of growing up. It's part of the process. It's part of all that stuff. But it's just a tough pill to swallow. And so we're learning. We're learning. We're learning about one another, with one another at the same time. Ava and I had a very similar talk. She's been very fortunate with that community band. So she wakes up and she's got band every day, first thing in the morning. So she's got to be at the high school, and then she gets bused back to the junior high school after that, or sorry, the freshman school after that, and spends the rest of the day in class. And then she usually once or twice a week, she's got another practice, so to speak, for a couple hours in the evenings to play and keep her fingers good and keep her music reading up to date and everything like that. So her confidence has been very good. But how do you keep first chair? I said. She said, well, obviously practice. So that's been tough. She's also, I suffered from the same sort of stuff until my confidence grew enough, but stage fright. She doesn't much care to practice in front of us, but that also proved itself to be a bit of a hindrance, maybe, when she tried out for the state band and the honor band. She made the honor band, but then fell short on the state band, and we were just trying to talk to her. What do you think happened? What can we improve? And she just said she was super nervous and plenty of squeaks and a couple of missed notes, things like that. And Kylie and I asked her, like, what do you think can be done to improve? And she was aware and understood, probably should or could practice a bit more. So those sorts of things. And it's tough because I remember being a kid and looking at my parents, and like, they got it all figured out. Bills are getting paid, people are going to work, they know what's going on. And then fast forward, and I'm starting anew, in shambles almost every day, where I've been fortunate enough and benefiting from it enough that I've been open as a book can be, trying to talk to the kids about the feeling of failure, the feeling of could I have done more, what could I have done differently, and what should be laid on my plate as a negative, what blah blah blah, all those sorts of things. And it's a humble ass pill to swallow in itself, and it's not a fun one either. It's no one likes the feeling of you messed up, and now you gotta shuffle and figure out what's next, or you messed up and this is how to improve it, and you got to look into yourself and figure out how to make those tweaks and those changes. But it's been fun at the same time to be able to learn and live vicariously with the kids, learning and growing at the same time. Like I said to Cash in our episode, what's it like being a kid getting raised by kids? And he was kind of like, what do you mean? And that's, we're just like anybody. When you decide you're going to have your first child, no one has a play-by-play rule book of this is what works and this is what doesn't, because every kid has their own personality, and they're always a mixture of one and the other. And I always had a have currently, and it's always evolving, a different personality than Kylie. I have different wants and I have different needs. We have a bunch that are the same. Our values, mine might be here or there, and hers might be there or here. And those things are now starting to become more apparent with our kids. And So there's not ever a flippin' rule book or a play-by-play, this is how it has to be done, and that's, so it's been amazing, scary, anxiety-ridden, fun, hard, but anything hard, I think, is trying to teach you something. Because, like I was saying to my mom earlier today, the only way up, unfortunately, fortunately, however you want to look at it, is getting out of your comfort zone, pushing through the barriers of uncomfort and right into the, pushing into the uncomfort and leaning into the unknown. And it's hard. That part's so hard. It's so hard to have a positive mental attitude in the scary stuff. My mom said it best, man, when I was a kid, something unknown, something new to learn, anything like that, man, lay it on me. Let's go. I want to learn. I want to do this. You're full of piss and vinegar, so to speak. The world's your oyster and you're not scared of nothing. You're just young. You're figuring your way, your path. And then you get a bit older and it's like, hey, you need to go to a new building and a new side of the office and work for new people, new faces, new personalities. And I'm like, no, thank you. I'd rather just be right here in my zone of comfort and just be with Tim, Jenny, and Bill, or whatever the names might be. I just want to be in here and keep doing the things I'm doing. And then, at the same time, if you're not pushing a little bit towards the betterment or growth factor, like, you're just getting stale. And staying the same I don't think it's the way to go. Anyway, I gotta go. I wanted to show you guys something I did the other day. I hear the microwave beeping. I just finished my lunch, so I'm just gonna shut that off. But I finished something the other day, and I'm just trying to figure out where to hang it now. But this is my vision board. Things that I'm trying to check off my list. Some of the things for 2025. And hopefully be able to pass some of the changes in mind and mindset and growth with my household, as well as learning from them and their growth and their mindset shifts and their personality shifts. I think it's all important, and that's life in the South these days. I hope everybody's having a fantastic start of their week and a happy St. Patrick's Day. And this is episode 6. 1 mile a day. See you guys. Bye.